Welcome to Yin Yoga with Nita. I'm Nita, and today we're going to be doing a fall-themed Yin Yoga flow. Right now, here it's October. I don't know if you're watching this in October, but basically we're going to embody all of the fall energy today with a Yin flow that's focused on the lungs and the large intestine meridians. We'll talk a little bit about that and what that means. What you'll need for today, if you have available blocks, if not, thick books can help for support. And if you have a bolster or a blanket or a towel, you can roll into a burrito. That will be really helpful for a lot of the postures today. Other than that, a blanket if you want to get cozy, sweater, tea, water. And I always welcome any journaling that you want to do throughout the practice. You can always take some time to write something down. I always have my notebook here too. I'll leave a playlist in the box and I share it with people joining live if you want to listen to some music. Other than that, just remember that this class is for you. So the postures are invitations, they're offerings. If anything just doesn't feel aligned, doesn't feel good in your body today, you can always opt out, modify, or even add in if you want to add a little bit more. And yeah, just listen. Listen to what your body's asking today, okay? That's always the invitation. So with that being said, we're gonna get started actually on our backs today. If you have a bolster or a blanket, you can roll like this. Please grab it. And you're actually gonna sit and place that bolster or that blanket kind of at the base of your spine. And we're gonna try this out. We're gonna do a chest opener to begin. So try to lie down on top of that bolster of blanket and see how that feels. If it's too much of a chest opener, you can either kind of get a thinner blanket or roll it a little less, or just remove it and lie down without it. Your legs can be on a butterfly position, so soles of feet together, knees wide, or they can just be planted, okay? So find that base. And if your feet are planted on the ground, just feel that ground beneath you. If they're in butterfly position, just let the knees fall. You can always put some blocks or cushions under them. And just melt here, whether you have a bolster or not. Just try to melt on the earth, on your bolster. And soften your gaze or close your eyes here. Arms can be by your side or they can be on your body, wherever they feel comfortable. And we're going to start taking a few breaths here. Try to inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose as well. And start noticing the inhales and the exhales, seeing if you can balance them out a bit without forcing it. Start feeling as the inhale fills up your belly, your chest, and then the exhale lets everything go. Keep focusing on the breath as you're opening your chest towards the sky. So the fall season is related to the metal element. in Chinese medicine. And if you think about the metal element, it's all about transformation, right? It's all about how it melts, molds into different things. It transforms. And that's what this season is about. It's about nourishing, taking in, but it's also about releasing and letting go. And that's exactly what the lungs and the large intestine meridians are about as well. So the meridians are these energetic pathways that we have in our bodies where the prana, the energy, flows through. Okay. And sometimes we have blockages in these pathways that can cause, pain, issues, struggles, whether in our physical body, in our mental body, in our emotional or energetic body. So when we practice things like yin yoga, acupuncture, all of these things to support our well-being, we are promoting the free flow of that energy, right? Today, in particular, we're going to be focusing on the lungs and the large intestine. So as you're breathing here, I'm going to walk you through where those meridians are so you can start visualizing that prana, that energy flowing through these places. So stay with your soft gaze or your eyes closed. Stay with your breath here. And then start visualizing how your breath and how your prana, your energy is moving through the inside of the belly, just above the navel, and dropping down to the large intestine. From there, it comes back up through the diaphragm and connects to the stomach. It goes up through the lungs and follows the throat before coming to the front of the shoulder from under the clavicle. From here, it's running along the outer thumb side of the upper arm and the front of the lower arm. It crosses the wrist and ends at the outer tip of your thumb. It also goes from the wrist to the tip of the index finger. This is all your lung meridian. And then it connects to the large intestine meridian that begins at the index finger, runs between the thumb and the forefinger, and along the outside of your arm. Then it comes over the outside top of your shoulder and along the back of the shoulder blades into the spine. There, one branch descends through the lungs, diaphragm, and large intestines, and the second branch goes along the neck, lower cheek, enters the lower gum, and into the lower teeth. In the outside, it also circles the upper lips, crosses under the nose, and rises up to join the stomach meridian. So as you can see, these lines, these pathways are all interconnected, just as our bodies are connected. Keep imagining, keep visualizing this flow, this breath moving through all of these lines in your body. Releasing, letting go, but also nourishing. Feeling the purification of the air in your lungs, and then releasing what is no longer needed. In the next couple breaths, Very, very slowly. You're going to start turning your body towards the right side into a fetal position. If you had a prop under you, you can slide that prop away. And then stay in your fetal position for a second. Taking all of that in. And then very slowly use your hands to prop yourself up. And coming into child's pose. So we're going to do a wide-legged child's pose sequence here. Bring your toes together. Widen your knees, just about around where your mat edges are. And then walk your hands forward. Bring your chest towards the mat here. And then your forehead either towards the earth, or if you need a block, you can always use a block. And breathe. You can massage your forehead with the mat. You can also use a bolster if you need to, and place it under your chest. Keep paying attention to your breath, to your inhales and your exhales. Surrendering towards the mat. Melting into the posture. And remembering that you're in a yin practice, so you're not engaging your muscles here. You're soft. You're super soft. But you're also trying to find your edge of sensation. So not too much, not too little, just right. So while we want to embrace the fall vibes and be cozy, we also don't want to be too relaxed and too soft that we fall asleep or something like that, even though I always say if you need sleep in your yoga practice, just sleep. Take a rest. Take what you need. But if you want to practice that mindfulness, that edge that we want to find on our yin practice, there's a bit of an edge. There's a bit of a looking for sensation, finding comfort in discomfort, right? So we're still feeling here. On your next couple breaths, make sure you have enough room on your left side and on your right side, because we're going to be doing some lateral, I guess, child's pose. So bring yourself up a bit, use your hands and walk them towards the right side, outside of your mat, right? And then come down again here. So basically your legs are staying in that same position, that wide-legged position. Your hands are walking towards the right side, and you're bringing your chest down and your head down here. So you might feel a bit of a stretch on the side body, your arms, your shoulders, all of that area that we want to target today. and stay here. Start getting curious about what's happening in your body right now. So where do you feel this position? How do you feel it? It's a constant exercise of curiosity and mindfulness, always using the breath as the anchor. Still noticing the inhales and the exhales. And if you need a mantra to anchor your practice as well, I invite you to start with a simple one. It could be an I am. I am here. I am breathing. I am at ease. On the next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself up a bit. Keep your legs where they are. Come back to center and then all the way to the left side. So clear your space. If you need space on the left side, walk your hands past the left edge of your mat and then bring yourself down here. So now you're feeling that stretch probably on the right side body. It might feel different in the left side. So notice what's happening now. And remember that while we're in stillness, we're not stuck here. So there's always the option to adjust. If you went too far, you can back off a little bit. If you need more sensation, then you can adjust as well. Either move a little bit more towards the left, walking your hands a little bit farther away from you. Listening to what you need right now. Keep breathing. And if the mind does what the mind does, which is wander around, jump from one thing to the next, let it, and then focus back on your anchor, on your breath, on your inhales and exhales, or on your mantra. And the next Few breaths. Walk your hands up here. Come back to center. Come back to just regular child pose for 1 second here. And then walk your hands a little bit towards you to lift yourself back up. Legs can stay around the same, so the wide-legged position. But then place your hands sort of under your shoulders here. And now you're gonna lift your left hand up on your inhale, up towards the sky, kind of opening up your chest here. And then on the exhale, you're gonna thread your left arm under your right arm. Hopefully my microphone doesn't muffle here. And then just rest your head on your mat. Right arm can be just there, placed on the mat next to your head, or it can extend above your head, kind of in child's pose. So we are threading the needle right under, left arm under right arm. Legs are still in a wide child's pose position. If you need, if your neck is uncomfortable, you can always place a block under your head here. Or a cushion. And breathe. Hips are sort of over your knees, maybe a little bit farther back, depending on your comfort level here. Breathing. Then on your next inhale, use that right hand to press on the earth and then lift that left arm up again, up to the sky and then down towards the mat. Now we're going to go to the other side. So hands on their shoulders. There you go. Hands on their shoulders. Now right hand up towards the sky, opening your chest. Inhale, and then on the exhale, thread the needle under your left arm. Left arm can stay here next to your head, or it can extend sort of above your head. And we breathe. If at any point there's discomfort on the knees, remember you can roll your mat or you can place a blanket under the knees. You can take a pause. Just do what feels good for you. Finding that edge of sensation, finding that Goldilocks moment and staying there in stillness. And going with the fall season. Start to think about what you want to invite into your life, but then also what you want to release, what you want to let go. On the next inhale, press your left hand. Use it to help yourself get back up. Right hand up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back down. Okay. So before we change our leg position, we're gonna try tadpole or half frog. So keep your toes together, but instead of staying with your knees as wide as the yoga mat, you're gonna bring it even wider. So that means maybe outside of your mat, right? So we were here, we're gonna bring them here. Whatever that looks like for you. We don't wanna overdo it, right? So find a wider leg position, toes are still touching, and walk your hands forward, sort of to a child's pose, but now we're in tadpole because our legs are way wider. And bring your chest down. So your hips can be either still here in tadpole, so still over your heels, or they can be kind of over your knees. So test that out. If they're over your heels, that's tadpole. If they're a bit over your knees, then that's half frog. Check with your lower back. If that's too much for your lower back, you can grab a bolster or a rolled blanket and place it under your chest here and give yourself some support. Arms are still extended. Hands are planted on your mat. And we're breathing. Check in with your knees. Check in with your lower back. And again, think about how we're talking about the lungs and the large intestine, right? So this season is all about that transformation, that change, that release. If you think about your lungs, they help you take air in, right? Take in that prana, that energy, that breath throughout your body. So you take in, but then you also exhale, you release. You let go. Your large intestine also helps you release what you don't need. So you take your nutrients and your food, whatever, and then you release, right? You release the waste that you don't need. So it's all around that same concept, right? Of taking in what you need, inviting into your life what you need, all the seeds you planted throughout summer, the spring that bloomed in summer, and we're at the highest peak. And now it's that time to prepare for stillness, for rest. This is also a time for giving yourself what you need in preparation for winter. So hunkering down, looking inward, reflecting, taking note of what you have and being grateful for that. And then just shedding what you don't need, letting go. All right, in the next few breaths here, if you had a prop under your chest, you can slide it down and slide it off the mat. If not, you can just start walking your hands towards you. And then now we come into all fours. Ooh, that was a lot of child's pose and a lot of surrendering towards the mat. So use this time to rinse that. So whether that means doing a few cat cows here. So for cow, belly button towards the mat, tilting pelvis and crown of the head towards the sky, arching your back. And then on the exhale, going to cat, belly button to spine, crown of the head and pelvis tilting towards the mat. And then you can kind of cycle through, inhaling on cow, exhaling on cat. You can also do a few barrel rolls here towards one side or the other, or even just move your hips up and down. So take whatever you need here. And now, again, if your knees are feeling some kind of way, you can always put a blanket or roll your mat to give yourself some support. So come back to all fours and then keep your knees aligned with your hips here. I'm gonna go back here. There you go. So knees in alignment with your hips, and then you're gonna walk your hands forward into melting heart. So chest goes down towards the mat. If you have a neck that allows you to bring your chin towards the mat, go for it. If not, forehead towards the mat, okay? So if your neck flexibility allows, you can place your chin on the mat here, melting your heart towards the mat. Arms are extended, hands are planted here. There's always the option of placing a bolster under your chest here. So similar to where we were on half frog. Or you can also just extend one hand and place your forehead on your forearm, like so. So take the melting heart posture that your body is asking for right now. And breathe. Keeping that alignment of the hip over your knees. Knees are hip width distance apart here. And we're melting, we're surrendering here. And this is opening up chest, clavicle, all of this beautiful area, but then also there's a back bend, right? So you might feel it in your back as well. Stay breathing. Stay curious here. And keep visualizing that breath moving through those meridians that we talked about, right? So moving through your hands, arms, shoulders, your chest, your neck, down into your lungs, your diaphragm, your large intestine, allowing it to do what they do best, right? To follow their functions, to keep the energy flowing, to keep the tissues healthy and lubricated. Right, and the next couple breaths, start coming back up. So the easiest way sometimes to get out of melting heart is just to slide your body forward and down to lie onto your belly. Okay, so while you're on your belly, you can rest your forehead on your hands here. You can give it a massage. You can kind of shake your hips one side, the other side, maybe shake your ankles too. Then you can bring your feet up and just do a couple windshield wipers. Take any type of movement that your body needs right now. Then, once that feels complete, come onto your forearms, bringing your elbows a little bit forward than your shoulders, and then having your arms parallel to each other. Hands are planted on your mat. Legs are extended towards the back of the mat. And your head is neutral here, okay? So you're not looking up. You're looking forward, or if your neck loves this, you can also just let your head dangle. So here we're in Sphinx pose. The idea of Sphinx is that your chest is up. You're using your forearms and your hands to ground yourself and to prop yourself up. And you're checking in with your lower back. So if this is too much, you can walk your hands forward a bit. And you can always use your blanket or bolster to put it under your chest here. Oh, that feels nice. My lower back is a little weird today, so I'm gonna listen. And yeah, and so shoulder blades are down. You can also use a block here to rest your head. And once you find that edge, you linger. Again, what are you inviting into your life? What are you breathing in? And what are you releasing? What are you breathing out? What is the season of change and transformation trying to teach you? Because there's always a voice, not only within you, but also within the universe, within like the world. The world sending you signs, your body sending you signs. So are you listening to them? Right? What is nature trying to teach you? As the trees are shedding their leaves, as the leaves are changing color, temperatures may be lowering, wind is blowing more, much more stronger. What is this season trying to teach? And what tiny steps can you take as we fall into the fall season to make that happen? To invite more of what you need and to release more of what you don't. Remember to breathe. Remember to keep that energy flowing, not only through the meridians we're targeting today, but through the entire body. All right, so in the next couple moments, if you had a block in front of you, just put it on the side. And then if you have a bolster, you can slide it off as well. And then come down to lie on your belly. And you can also put one hand on top of the other, rest your forehead here, and then bring your right leg up, kind of like trying to bring your right knee towards your armpit, sort of. And breathe here. This is going to release kind of your lower back. If it feels good, you can also turn your head towards the right and rest your left temple on your. Slowly come back to center. So bring your leg back down. And now we're going to go to the other side. So bring your left knee up towards your left armpit. Rest your forehead on your hands or look towards your left and rest your right temple on your hands. Breathe. All right. Slowly come back to center. Place your hands under your shoulders here, and then help yourself back up into all fours. Again, any movement that your spine or your body needs here, give it. Any circles, hips up and down, cat cows. Any sip of water or tea. And then slowly, you're gonna bring your knees together. There's a couple of options. We're gonna sit down into saddle. So few options here is to keep your knees together and then sit back on your heels. If this is not super comfy for you, you can grab your bolster, block, blanket, place it kind of in between your legs, and then sit. This might be better for knees or just in general more comfortable. Or another option to increase sensation is to sit your bum kind of in between your heels. So that might increase also sensation at the top of your feet, of your feet. So if you need to roll your mat for that, by all means, which is what I'm gonna do. So sit down in your saddle, whatever that means for you. So on heels, on bolster, or in between your heels. Find alignment. So head over heart, heart over pelvis here. And then we're gonna do some fun things with our arms. So kind of roll your shoulders a little bit and then hug yourself. So let's start with right arm on top of left arm and give yourself a hug. Breathe here. And then slowly, you can stay in your hug or you can bring your hands to meet or to clasp. They can meet in the back of the hands or they can clasp into eagle arms. So for eagle arms, keep your elbows in front of your face. Shoulders are down, creating space between your shoulders and your ears. And then you're breathing here, okay? If this is too much, you can stay with your hug. So we're doing saddle with a combination of eagle arms. In saddle, there's a lot happening in the lower body, and then with eagle arms, there's a lot happening in the upper body. So remember, we're softening, we're melting, we're trying not to engage our muscles too much so that we can let the deep tissues reap the benefits. Stay with the breath. If anything starts hurting, pinching, burning, or tingling, that's an indication to come out, to adjust. Then on your next couple breaths, release your eagle arms or release your hug. And shake, 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 shake. If you need to adjust your saddle, which I will, you're welcome to do so. And then for a little counter, bring your hands behind you if you can. If you cannot reach your mat, you can also bring them to blocks or bolster. And then just open your chest towards the sky. Head down. Come back to your saddle. Make sure your legs are in a good position, and we're going to do our arms on the other side. So roll your shoulders back. Inhale, and now we're going to place our left arm on top of right and give yourself a hug. Shoulders down, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. And then if you're coming along for eagle arms, bringing your hands to meet or to clasp. So the first side was right hand on top, second side, left arm on top, or just do both sides. Checking in with shoulders, bringing them down. And bringing elbows towards your eye line. Breathe here. Remember that if at any point eagle arms is too much, you can come back to hugging yourself. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to go past the edge. All right. Slowly release your eagle arms or release your hug and shake, 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 shake. Shimmy your shoulders. Release hands. Then come back to another one of those counter. So hands behind you, facing your bum or facing out if that feels more comfortable. And then open up your chest towards the sky. Head down. Beautiful. Come back up. Now you can sit on one hip and come back to a seated position. If you need to shake your feet too, because you were seated on top of your heels, please do. So any shakes on your ankles need, any ankle circles. And then come back into your back. Lie your back here. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Maybe do a few circles here or sway from one side to the other. And again, any ankle circles here to release. Any knee circles, one way, the other way. And then lie back on your back, extend your feet. And now you're going to keep your hips kind of anchored here where they are. And you're going to move both of your feet towards the right lower corner of your mat, okay? Until you can't go any further. You can keep your feet together or you can clasp, put one on top of the other. And then put your hands under your head as if you were just looking at the sky, stargazing, and use your hands to help your head and bring it towards your upper right corner of your mat, right? So shimmy, shimmy, keeping your hips anchored where they are. Shimmy shoulders, shimmy your head until you get to that point where you can't move it any further. So right now you're in a sort of a banana shape. And your hands can stay here, or you can move them above your head and clasp using your right hand to clasp your left wrist. And we're staying here. If your hands feel numb or they start tingling, bring them down towards your chest or next to your body. This is going to give you a really yummy side body stretch, hopefully. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. If your shoulder, especially your left one, cannot reach the mat, you can always place a blanket or a bolster under it to give yourself support. Bring the earth towards you. On the next few breaths, slowly start coming back to center. So bring your feet back to center, bring your head and shoulders back to center, and then we're going to go to the other side, okay? So again, hips, bum anchored, glued to your mat. Bring both of your feet now towards the lower left side of your mat, and either keep them together or put one on top of the other. Place your hands under your head and help your head and shoulders come to the upper left side until you reach the edge of sensation. And then your hands can stay under your head or they can go above your head, using your left hand to clasp your right wrist. Shoulders are grounded, hips are grounded. And we're feeling a side body stretch here on the right side. Breathing, noticing how all of these postures have helped and have changed your body in any way. How have they felt? How do you feel now compared to the beginning of the practice? How has your breath moved throughout your body? Has it softened anything? Has it expanded anything? Has it released anything? What changed? And then very slowly come back to center. Bring your knees towards your chest again. Give yourself a hug. You can curl up to a little ball here, bringing your head towards your knees and swaying from side to side. Now bring your legs back down and go towards your left side in a fetal position. Okay, like so. And then you're going to extend your left arm and your right arm on top of your left. Knees are together, arms are extended in front of your face. And then very slowly, you're gonna bring your right hand up towards the sky and all the way towards the right side into a twist. So knees are staying on the left. Left arm is extended. Right arm is extended on the right side for a twist. Head can be looking up or looking towards the right for a deeper twist. So when we start the twist with our knees kind of anchored like that, we're focusing the twist more on the upper body versus when we do it moving our knees from the center to one side or the other. Breathe here as we're starting to close the practice. Twisting your spine. To get any last kinks, any last tweaks and twists that you might need before you go about your day. All right. Very slowly, bring your right hand up towards the sky again and back to meet the left one. And then move your body, roll it up towards your right side. So fetal position, but now we're lying on our right side. And again, we're going to extend. I'm going to face this way so you can see me. Extend the right hand in front of your face. Knees are up and anchored here. And then extend your left arm, hand over hand here. Inhale. And then raise your left hand up towards the sky and back down for a twist. So again, our arms are in a T shape. We're opening up our chest, raising our left arm up and down towards the left side, knees on the right side. Head can be looking up or looking towards the left for a deeper twist. when we have blockages in our lungs and large intestine meridians, we can experience sorrow, deep sadness, even struggle with grief. But when they're balanced and free flowing, we can actually experience the beauty and courage. We can find ease in letting things go and releasing and in embracing transformation, embracing the metal. When there's blockages there could also be some respiratory issues and some digestive issues as well. All of this according to traditional Chinese medicine. All right, slowly bring your left arm up and over to meet your right. Again, in a fetal position here. If you need to stay here for a second, breathing, please do. Take any last sip of water, and once you're ready for Shavasana, just get situated. So if you need a bolster to put under your knees for Shavasana, that's very nice. Some people also like to place a bolster just on top of their hips, feel grounded, or even under your neck. And just take space. If you want to grab a blanket or anything to be extra cozy, please do. And once you feel ready to close the practice in Shavasana, just melt here. Soften your gaze or close your eyes if that feels safe. Release any tension in your body and just surrender. Surrender into this moment. Surrender into your mat. Surrender into the here and now. I'm going to share a reading by Elle, one of my favorite authors. She has a beautiful gratitude practice around autumn and around the fall season. And she says, autumn, in its vibrant yet fleeting glory, can teach us all about the delicate art of release. There's no resistance in how the trees surrender their leaves. They simply let go, trusting in the rhythms of life. The rustling wind carries away what is no longer needed, making space for winter's hushed but nurturing rest. And it's during this stillness, this temporary pause, that the groundwork for new beginnings is laid. Nature teaches us to trust this process, to understand that letting go isn't about loss, but creating space for change and self-nurturing. May we all remember that our blooming cannot be rushed. May we all remember that our rebirth isn't immediate. May we all remember that change is possible. May we all remember to keep showing up. May we all remember to welcome patience. May we all remember that each of us unfolds in our own time. May we all remember that trusting the season we're in is an act of courage. May you offer yourself the permission to let go. May you trust that each release is a step toward the next version of yourself. May we all learn what surrendering truly feels like this season. May everything that is to be so. Now, very, very slowly, in your own time, start waking up the body, waking up your toes, your fingers, face. Give yourself a smile. And then very, very slowly, slower than you might think, come onto your side. And then use your hands to help yourself come into a seated position. Or if you want to close the practice lying down, that's totally fine. If you're meeting me on a seated position, bring your hands to meet on prayer, Anjali Mudra. Take a deep, deep inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Then one more deep inhale. And then bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope that you get to use this to embrace the fall season, embrace what fall is teaching us, and you can let all of that prana flow freely in your body. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next class.